Hi everyone and welcome to Barefoot TV, the online TV program that provides you with access to knowledge, wisdom and guidance from experts, leaders, spiritual advisors and everyday people to support you in transforming, growing and connecting with love, soul and spirit in your everyday lives. Now I'm your host Leanne, the Barefoot Medium. I'm an international medium, twin flame, transformational coach and author who is absolutely passionate about reconnecting people with their loved ones passed over, but also providing tools and techniques to support people through challenges and experiences or events in their everyday life that might be keeping them stuck physically, mentally or emotionally and not being able to achieve their goals and dreams. Kick off your shoes, sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode where I am joined by my dear friend Deb and her beautiful daughter Mariah from Gril. Now, Gril is a movement of people, young and old, who are making a commitment to create a ripple of change to combat bullying, depression, anxiety, and isolation for girls, and to end the harmful culture in our communities around bullying and some of that people are experiencing. So welcome, Deb and Mariah.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit, Deb or Mariah, about what made you create Gril.
Want me to start? Okay, so when Mariah was in grade 3, 4 and some of year 5, she was pretty relentlessly bullied in primary school. And I'm not, a helicopter parent, and I'm not running up to school every 5 minutes, and I'm not fighting my children's battles. So we did a lot of work with Mariah around empathy. About recognising that some kids are a little bit broken and might have a backpack to carry because they haven't got, great family lives. And we gave her all of the strategies and techniques that she might need to overcome what she was going through. And I downplayed it a little in terms of kids will be kids, just get on with it. So along the way, Mariah progressed to really being quite a troubled little girl. She lost her spark. She was quite miserable and unhappy. She was really scared that these bullies' family were going to come and get her at home. And then she started having trouble sleeping. So she would fall asleep exhausted at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, because she was convinced that they were coming to get her, that they knew where she lived. And so she was going to school exhausted every day. Her grades were slipping, and we just went into a really negative downward spiral from there. So we were lucky. We were able to move Mariah out of her school and find another nice little school for her as a soft place for her to land and recover and rebuild. That was a really big step for her and I, because she'd been at that school since prep, so she'd been with those kids a long time, and she was really scared of the unknown. So we made the step to step out of there and to hop in, to sort of resume her gymnastics and to grow her up a little bit. We are 18 months down the track from when we left her school, and only just getting brave enough to talk about what she went through and recognising that because we've come out the other side, we might have something to share.
Yeah. And I love how, Deb, you talk about the impact in terms of the physical stuff that's going on. And Mariah, I'm sure you'll agree that, sometimes kids express stuff that's going on in physical ways, like they're not sleeping. You probably had sore tummies, didn't want to go to school, like the illness stuff that comes up as a way of resisting putting yourself in that environment with those people that really were being hurtful towards you. whether they were intentionally or consciously doing that or not, it was still hurtful for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can you remember not wanting to go to school and having a bellyache all the time and feeling really unwell? You remember all those days where it was really hard to go to school?
Yeah.
Mm.
Can you tell me, Mariah, a little bit about what that time felt like for you and what other kids who might be going through that might be feeling or thinking?
Well, I was feeling like scared and anxious, and I didn't really want to do anything. I just wanted, like, I didn't really want to go to school or anything. I just wanted to stay at home in my room, and I was scared and stuff.
Yeah, and home often feels safe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Where you know you're loved, you know you're supported, you know that you can land.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I shared with both Deb and Mariah prior to the show that this topic is really important for me because from primary school, I also experienced a lot of bullying, and it was more that name calling that girls often engage in, or the emotional manipulation, or you're not pretty enough, you're not this, you're not good at sport, or whatever it might be that girls do.
Mm.
Still on.
It's still around, is what Mariah just said. And that's sort of why we thought if we could create a little bit of a group where, kids pledge or make a promise to not only not participate in bullying, but they actually make a promise to not ever listen and be a bystander either, to be brave enough. So we recognise that, so we had our little cards made, and Mariah's going to read that to you. Imagine your names in the ...
Okay. I, Mariah, promise to always be kind, caring, and courageous every day and never tolerate bullying. From this day to my last signed lifetime member, Tribe Girl.
Awesome. And so, Mariah, what have you witnessed other girls or other kids bullying other people at school?
No.
No. And so how do you think someone who's watching another kid, whether it's a girl or a boy, get bullied, what can they do to be courageous in that situation?
I don't really understand the word.
So what would you do if someone was picking on one of your girlfriends?
Yeah.
I would stop them.
Okay, so how would you do that?
I would tell them that it's not right and it's not respectful, and by letting people down, it shouldn't be bringing you up.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
we recognise that kids at that age don't have the tools or the language that they need to intervene. So it's one of the reasons too that we've partnered with EQ Kids, and we're looking at emotional intelligence and rolling out some emotional intelligence programs so that we can just give, and we've got our little hashtag, it's cool to be courageous, and girls support girls. So we want to just create a bit of a ripple where we actually give children the tools and the language so they know how to go, hang on a minute, I don't think that's right. And, it might just be that phrase. It might be something else that we develop along the way to be able to give them, both the courage and the words to be able to intervene when something like that is happening. I think she's a nice little school at the moment and the kids are all pretty good.
Yeah.
So she's been really, really lucky.
Yeah, and I like how you bring in the emotional intelligence, because I think that's, even as kids, Mariah, and you're lucky to have mum who's teaching you these things, but as kids we're often not taught about emotions and what they are and how to express them in courageous, positive, empowering ways. Like, it's okay to feel anxious. it's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel sad. It's what you do with that. And what I've learned is often people who are taking the actions of bullying and engaging in that behaviour have a lot of emotional turmoil or trauma going on within themselves, and they don't know how to express it. And it's often beautiful, little empathetic, compassionate, kind, generous people, kids like you, that they look at, because what they're doing is looking at you and going, well, I want some of that, but I don't know how to get it. And so their call for attention is often through those actions that are really disempowering and hurtful.
And that's why we tried to use some different strategies for Mariah in the really early days. And I explained to Mariah that we don't know the family circumstances where someone comes from. We don't know the hardships. And, you know, we sort of describe it as a backpack. Everybody has a backpack of troubles and experiences that they cart through life with them. And we don't actually know the load that other people are carrying. So we did try to use those sorts of things. But I think we were just such a little drop in the ocean at the time that we were a little bit powerless to make the change. So we found our courage and we found our voice. Thought, you know, there's so much that we can do around this. So yeah, we're hoping to get out to get some education programs recognised and out into the schools to help parents, teachers and children, because often teachers are so busy they don't have the tools either. So we found some of the things that they tried to do for Mariah and her particular person of interest at the previous school. Those sorts of strategies didn't work. They were old strategies that probably weren't tried and tested. So we're hoping some emotional intelligence along to that as well.
Yeah. And Mariah, what were the things that helped you to have the courage to make the changes?
Well, I just knew that it would be better for me and it would help me with my school and stuff.
So that was changes to the new school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how did you change, like, your thinking or your emotions? How did that change for you? Do you feel like you're in a better space with your thoughts at the moment? How you think of yourself?
I don't know how to explain.
So we did lots of different things along the way in her journey to feeling better. Do you get what she means now?
Yeah.
So, we wrote down things that we're grateful for, and we wrote down, we did our inspiration cards every morning. We wake up with an inspiration card, and we often do an I am. So it might, it's setting your intention for an adult, but for a child, it's just, I am brave today, or I am powerful. So we did those sorts of things, didn't we?
Yeah.
What else did you do? Can you remember?
Well, we did some journaling and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's good to write all those things down, isn't it? And then just get rid of them all. Yeah. And we learnt to forgive people as well.
Yeah.
It's not always their fault. So we can't carry burdens and baggage with us about people that have hurt us in the past. So we just have to bless them and move on, don't we? Yeah.
And I think that is key to being able to move forward, is compassion and empathy. We don't know what they've got going on at home or in their family life or whatever that may be triggering them to take actions like that. And so compassion and forgiveness, it's never about you. Someone else's behaviour towards you is never about you. It's always about where they're at. So I think that's a really good point to make, and for kids to take away in particular.
Do you want to tell Leanne about your happiness kit that you want to create for kids who are going through some tough time?
Okay. So we're going to be making this happiness kit, and it's going to have like a journal, some colours, pens, and this string and like quotes. So they'll put this piece of string up around their room somewhere, and every day they will put like a quote on a peg and put it on there, and then once they're all up, they'll have like a cute little decoration.
So they're
thingy.
inspiration cards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to be making a journal where they can like write down how they feel, and like there'll be like there'll be like these squares, and every day they will colour it in with a like a yellow for a happy day, like a good day, or blue for a sad day, so they can like track how they've been feeling over the month.
And their parents can also see at a glance if their kid's in trouble. If they've got mainly blue days, then, you know, that could trigger something for a parent to step in and maybe intervene.
Yeah.
So, and we might put a little gratitude rock in there as well in their toolkit. Yeah. So
Beautiful.
we've pulled a few online things together that people can download off the Facebook page, and it's a little bit of a, you know, it's a bit of a daily journal. How are you? Check in kind of thing. Positive for the day, and then they get to colour in their square as well.
Yeah, and I like how you say that, because one of the things I've taught a couple of kids that I've worked with is grabbing a hula hoop of a morning and putting it on the floor and jumping in the hula hoop in the morning and going, I feel happy, or I feel peaceful, or I feel strong, or whatever it might be. And then they go about their day, and when they come back home, they jump in the hula hoop again and go, now I feel. And if it's anything different to what it was in the morning, being able to have that conversation as parent or caregiver or whoever to go, well, what's taken place in your day for that emotion to change?
Yeah, I love that. That's really powerful, because it's a good contrast, isn't it? It's a nice check-in.
Yeah.
So those sorts of things that are, you know, we're all busy parents. We're all checking in on the fly. I think a big cue, you know, if you saw, it's just sort of a 28-day sort of a calendar with no letters or anything on it, so they just get to colour it in. So as a parent, if you walk past your child's room and saw lots of blue on that chart, you know, a big flag to go, hang on, you know, Mariah's not great this month. What do we need to do? And, you know, it might just open up that conversation for them.
Yeah, and I think it is that conversation that, you know, you're lucky, Mariah, that you've got mum there that's, you know, you're able to go to and talk to her. And I think for other parents watching, take the time, step away from, you know, the mobile phone, the things that you've got to do, and sit down and actually connect with your kids and talk to them about what's going on, where are they at physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and, you know, what are their goals, what are their dreams.
Yeah, and the more you do it, the more comfortable it becomes. It's a little clunky at first. You know, thinking of 3 things to be grateful for can be hard work when you're really feeling, you know, like your world is crashing in on you. So it might just be, well, my bed was warm last night and I've got shoes to put on, and look, there's a brand new box of Cocoa Pops in the cupboard, and that's okay. So we just start with what's meaningful for them as children and what's important for them, so that they can set the scene for their day. So I think what's been really cool is we're tailoring it to kids that are Mariah's age and a bit younger, and it's all about connecting with kids on that level. But the partnerships that we've created with EQ Kids and, you know, the co-founders of the emotional intelligence training that we're doing as well, you know, they've got training for adults and teachers and those sorts of things. So there's just so much that that we've yet to do. We've got armbands to go into the schools, and that the profits from that all go to Dolly's Dream, which we all know that was a tragic tale of a 14-year-old girl who took her life from being bullied. And I, like you, Leanne, I've got tears streaming down my face as I'm typing an email to them saying, this is so meaningful to me because this could be me. If I didn't find out by accident at the school, then I would not have realised the extent of Mariah's bullying. And then as a parent, you feel a layer of guilt because you don't know, and that you didn't act to protect them. And then you get angry because, well, hang on a minute, the school should have been protecting them. You go through all of those stages of blaming and grieving and all of those things. We had to make a difference. This ripple had to be something that was meaningful for lots of people. So that's why we did the little wristbands, the Tribe Girl and Girl Support Girls, and all of the profits go to Dolly's Dream because they're doing amazing training in schools, just around the depression and suicide prevention. So we wanted to partner with people who had the same values as us, and just to make it really meaningful.
Awesome. Can you show me them and tell me about the band?
They come in a little bag with the promise card.
And they're all numbered?
Yeah, so we keep track of how many people. And then there's...
It's okay, I can see it.
There's the purple band saying girls support girls.
Yep. Awesome. They're so cute.
On the other side, it says Tribe Girl.
Cool.
And it comes in pink, green, purple, and then blue, which Mum has.
Awesome. And can people buy those from you?
Yes.
And where can they do that, Mariah?
On our website.
And what's your website?
www.tribegirl.com.au.
Perfect. And so for those of you who are watching who have been touched by bullying, whether it's your own experience or a child or a family member, and you want to support this amazing cause and this beautiful little girl that I've known for a long time, and I'm so proud of how far she's come, then jump on their website, tribegirl.com.au, and buy a wristband. And I will, if it's okay with Deb, pop a little link up on my website to support you guys as well.
That would be great. And we've got a Facebook page that we put all of the new stuff coming through as well. So, just search for Tribe Girl and you'll find us. So, that's
great.
Amazing. Yeah.
And is there one little message you'd like to give people that might be experiencing bullying at the moment, Mariah?
What would you say? What would you say to your 9-year-old self when you were really struggling? Do you think? What would you say if you came across a little girl?
It doesn't really matter what other people think. It's what you think, and I completely lost it.
No, you haven't. You're doing well.
Do you remember?
Oh, I remember. You were amazing.
Do you want to say it?
There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and you know that you're here to help people be resilient and mindful, and to know that there's positive things out there for them, didn't you?
Yeah. That's a fantastic message. And, we've all got a unique talent and unique, expressions of who we are to bring to the world, and we can't be anyone else. We're all different for a reason, and we all shine that beautiful light out there for a reason in different ways. So for those watching, have the courage to be you, no matter what anybody says about you, and have the courage to bring all of you to the table. The good, the bad, the ugly, yeah, the beautiful, the pretty, the kind, the whatever it might be. And it's okay to have a day where you may not feel happy or joyful. Just express it to someone, or get yourself some tools and techniques. Connect with Deb and Mariah, or whoever else you're drawn to get some tools in your belt to be able to use when those days come around, because they do. And I've got a 9-year-old niece that I said to her, it's okay to have a cranky day. You've got your cranky pants on. It's okay. Just let us know you've got your cranky pants on, and that's okay.
Yeah, and I think too, one of our messages is, today's done. It's okay. We all make mistakes and we're all learning and growing, but the sun's going to, rise again tomorrow on a brand new day, and you've got a whole new chance to make it shine, So it's about just, knowing that whatever we go through are lessons for us.
Yeah.
And we come out the other end stronger, and having a little bit of, gratitude for what you do have, even if it's the simplest little thing.
Yeah. And always look at what's right about things, what's right about me, what's right about this situation, where can I draw on some gifts in this. So, and if there's any mums out there or parents out there that are dealing with this, then reach out and get some support, because you may not have the tools and techniques that you need to know how to deal with this, and it's okay to ask for help.
And it's absolutely normal to feel guilty, and it's normal to feel like you've failed your child because you weren't there to protect them every step of the way. We're all going to feel that when we find out what's going on for them. We try to create resilient kids, and sometimes it doesn't work. So, we don't come to parenthood with a book, unfortunately. We're all winging it. Nobody's perfect. So, you do the best you can with what you've got on the day, and that's enough. Yeah.
And, that's the thing, that, there are no wrong decisions or wrong choices. Every choice you make is a choice in that moment, and it felt right at that moment in time. So let go of the rest and just allow yourself to, step into tomorrow knowing what you learnt yesterday, and leave that behind. So I'm so grateful that you both joined me. Thank you, Mariah.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing your message with everybody and doing what you're doing, because you're being incredibly brave, and you're showing people what is possible on the other end, because you've come out of that tunnel, and sometimes they need a little bit of hope. And so if you're a kid out there who needs a little bit of hope, there is hope. You just need to get the tools, techniques, and support. Get a support team around you. It's like playing any sport. You've got a team around you for a reason. So draw them in, gather them in, and just know there's hope.
That's so true.
Yeah. So get on the website, guys. Check out Tribe Girl and support them. Buy a wristband. Do whatever you can to support this amazing cause and get that ripple out there of love and hope and courage.
Thanks so much for having us, Leanne.
That's okay. Thank you guys for listening, and please feel free to join me on the next episode of Barefoot TV. Thanks, guys.